What is up, guys? Crazy Blackman 108 here, back with another Star Wars The Clone Wars episode review. A whole week late. Isn't that wonderful? Let's get a round of applause for me, guys. Because Crazy Blackman 108 sucked at being on schedule with reviewing manga, Star Wars. I'm failing all around right now. So, yeah. Star Wars The Clone Wars episode, I think is it 18? Because this week was 19, next week was 20. Yeah. The Jedi Who Knew Too Much. Yeah. So this episode basically started off with the funeral of the Jedi that died in the explosion there at the temple. Yoda giving some very inspirational, emotional quotes that we will of course quote later probably, and then going to you see Tarkin's there, and I guess everyone, all the main cast of Jedi are there, and Ahsoka's talking to Barriss, and Ahsoka's kind of getting an argument as well with Tarkin while Anakin and them are walking. And it's interesting to see the fact that Tarkin, just he thinks Ahsoka's just downright stupid. Basically, is how I see it. I mean, he sees that she has no intelligence whatsoever in terms of military and war efforts and stuff like that, and of what makes sense. And she was, confused as to why Letta was being handled by the Republic and not the Jedi Order, stuff like that. And, she confided in her friend Barriss. And, I mean, it was even cool because we got a nice, not this like a flashback like you would in an anime where we just go flashback, hey, here's this exact scene. No, they talked about it, harken back to the battle at Geonosis, not the one from episode 2, but the second battle, I guess you could say, at Geonosis, where Barriss and Ahsoka almost died, and that whole journey they had, with the brain invaders, I think was actually the name of one of the episodes with the worms and stuff. Very interesting. So a little bit later in the episode, though, Ahsoka gets called to go and visit Letta in jail, and it's really, I've like, that's awkward. Why? Well, not awkward, but weird. Why would she ask Ahsoka to come? So anyway, we cut and we get to see this whole base. And apparently, according to the commentary by Dave Filoni, Tarkin had this thing commissioned to be built. I'm just like, dang, Tarkin has that much power that he can get something this big built? Dang. But basically, has this whole place is imagine the Death Star, the not the Imperial quarters, the captured. The prison. Imagine like the prison that was on the Death Star, but on a bigger scale that's on the ground. That's basically what this was. And so Ahsoka goes in, and Commander Fox is there, and he tells Ahsoka to leave her lightsaber, both her lightsabers, and her Jedi comlink. So she leaves it, and she goes in and talks to Letta, and Letta's saying that she'll tell her, which Jedi it was that are doing it, but that she can't risk she can't trust anyone else. So as right she's getting ready to tell her, though, she starts getting force choked somewhere by someone, we have no clue who. And basically, while she's getting force choked, Ahsoka's staying like, Letta, and she has her hands up like this so it appears that she might be force choking her, of course, but it's not Ahsoka. And so she dies. Commander Fox and the other two clone troopers come in, and he says, I don't blame you, but you do realize now that you're under arrest. So they arrest Ahsoka, and Anakin comes in there trying to, get her out. And he goes up to Fox, let me see my Padawan. And, Fox like, no, she committed a crime. I can't let her out. And Anakin's like, let me see her. And you can see Anakin starting to get mad. He's clenching his fists. The anger's building. And Fox knows it, so he motions to the two guards to come up and help him detain Anakin, basically, they hold him back so that nothing will happen. And because it's under Tarkin's rules that she got in prison in the first place, because Tarkin came in and said that there was no audio, all we have is the tape footage. So going off of that, we know it was you. You had to, basically all the evidence leads to you. You force choked her and killed her. So Anakin ends up leaving, and he's pretty ticked off. He ends up leaving, and then we cut to Ahsoka in her prison. She sees that the data card that can let her out of her cell is right there, and so she uses the Force, lifts it up, and lets herself out of the cell. She comes out. She went on that hallway that was ray shielded before. The ray shields are all gone. The clones have been knocked out, like unconscious. They're all knocked out, and uh, she sees that her lightsabers are Jedi Comedy Center, and she's thinking that Anakin set this whole thing up, and she's like, "Oh, this is trouble." Now, personally, in my opinion, when I would have saw that, I would have been like, "I'm not leaving," because now I'm gonna get blamed for more. I would have ran right back and sat right back down in my cell. Now that's just me, because there's no way that I would have been able to get blamed for everything else that's gonna happen if I would have just stayed in my cell. But no. So Ahsoka then proceeds. Then Fox sees her, and she proceeds to run. And so, um, Anakin and Rex come because they were planning on trying to break her out. You know, try to break her out with. He was thinking with the help of Rex, they'd be allowed to get her out. And so, as Ahsoka's running and trying to get away, she runs across where there's two clone troopers that have been sliced off a lightsaber. And then then as soon as she sees that, she's like, oh no, this is getting worse. She runs again, and then Commander Fox is right there, and he reports, she's killed 2 Jedi, she's armed and dangerous. And I can't remember if he said shoot to kill, or he said she's armed and dangerous, be prepared. And then basically they both end up running, and then Anakin and Rex catch up to Fox. And Anakin says, "Wait, just stop for a second." He yells out to Ahsoka and tries to say, "Ahsoka, come back. I trust you. I believe you, Ahsoka. I know it wasn't you, but come back." But she doesn't. She keeps on running. And so Anakin says, I want her. I want her found now." And he runs off, and they're getting a battalion of troopers to go and search for her. And so Rex even says that he knows Ahsoka. She wouldn't kill clones. He knows that. But then some people said it was real Rex when it said she's armed and dangerous and she has killed 2 clone troopers. And I was sitting to me, I didn't find it so weird. I just found it more of a, there's 2 clone troopers that have been dead. As far as it probably had to be Ahsoka. But even though it wasn't, as we the audience know. So you just have to sit there and be like, well, she didn't kill. I mean, no, you have to be there and say like, well, why would Rex do that if he just like he knows she wouldn't do this. But I think it was just more of a cautionary thing for the rest of the clones, just in case. But, read into it more if you will. I'm not. I mean, I don't see it as Rex in partnership with anyone. But then Ahsoka gets on the run. She goes and climbs up on, the memorials of the clone troopers. Fox and Anakin and Rex come out and they see her, and Ahsoka just starts dipping. Then you got, basically all the Coruscant clone troopers just chasing after her. Those are the ones with the red markings. Basically what you would call the shock troopers. In episode 3, that Palpatine brought with him. And so Ahsoka's just running and running and running, and Anakin is saying, I want her alive. Don't shoot to kill. Don't shoot to kill. Set your blasters to stun. And so she's running and running away. She's blocking it was a huge chase scene. She's blocking the stun blast with the lightsaber, and just kind of like the burst. It's like a beam of energy, and just a whole bunch of craziness is happening. And then she finally gets to a point to where she ends up getting the gunship gets by her, and it blows up what's in front of her, to where it knocked her off her feet, and she lost her Shuto lightsaber, which is a Shuto, in case you don't know, Star Wars fans, that's the shorter version of a lightsaber. You have your normal lightsaber, but then there's this thing called a Shuto, which is one about this big, which is a smaller one that you can use for the things. It first appeared in Star Wars Marvel Comics. Luke made one to fight the mistress, I guess, of the Sith. I can't remember what Lumaya was called at the time, but Lumaya, to fight her light whip, he devised this small light so that he could use to grab a hold of the light whip, would grab around the Shuto, and then Luke would use his other lightsaber and go at her. Anyway, Ahsoka loses that one, so now she's down to 1 lightsaber. She only has her one from the that we've seen her have since the beginning of the series. So from there, Ahsoka then gets trapped in corner. She sees Anakin, and Ahsoka seems kind of hurt that Anakin's chasing after her. But she sees that she's surrounded, and she's like, but I can't get captured now, I gotta clear my name. So she jumps, and she cuts a hole in this pipe, and then drops into it, and then she starts dipping again. Anakin, the troopers propel down, and they all are chasing after her. Ahsoka takes a different route. But Anakin, trying to find her, uses the Force, sensor in the Force, runs after her. So basically all leads up to this final scene where it's Anakin and Ahsoka. Both of them, and they're basically both talking. Now, some people are saying, oh man, this was the scene that Dave Filoni was talking about, the really emotional scene between the two of them. No. This could be partially spoiled for next week's episode, but there's another scene between Anakin and Ahsoka at the end of this arc. That's the one he was talking about. Not this one that was good as well, but the one at the end of the arc is the one that no one outside the main aside the two of them know about. So that's gonna be good to see. People that went to the Lucasfilm event, they were able to go. Also, Filmmaker Mike, I think, went. They already saw that scene, so that's. And there's some stuff with season 6. I'll do a discussion about season 6 after this whole season's over. So after next weekend, there will be a discussion about the whole season 6 controversy and stuff with that. But anyway, Ahsoka and Anakin are talking to each other. And Ahsoka's, like, I need you to trust me. And she said, if you could have tried to help me, Anakin's like, I did. And she says, but you could have got me out. He's like, but I did try to get you out. And she said, but you could have if you tried. I'm like, Ahsoka, he tried. Leave him alone. Anakin tried. He really did. I mean, he didn't kill no one, but he tried. So Anakin and Ahsoka Ahsoka basically just says, no, you're going to have to trust me now. And Anakin's like, I do trust you, Ahsoka. And she says, no, again, you're going to have to trust me now. And so, as Rex is running up behind Anakin along with Fox, Ahsoka jumps down into what it descends down to level 1313. End of the episode. Craziness. This episode was crazy, but to catch a Jedi, that episode was even more crazy. So I'm going to move on to that next. Hope you all enjoyed this review. Crazy Black 118, stay in the Force with you. Peace.